Evening, everybody. Hope everyone's doing well. Thank you for tuning in today. I'm glad you could be here. Um, Today is a sensitive topic, okay? And I'm going to ask you guys to bear with us because this particular topic has been a hot spot for a minute, but us here um, do identify as men because that's what we are. And
Mm.
we do have a charge before us to protect children, whether they are ours or not. The same way that just because it's not my child, if it's being abused, I have a right to stand up on their behalf. And
Mhm.
so this topic includes two individuals specifically that were the ones that were the linchpin for this, Dylan Mulvaney and Jeffrey Marsh, um,
Mm.
both of whom have severe mental problems, to put it mildly, and both of whom, without equivocation, are indeed groomers. I don't care what their allies say. I don't care what the deranged people in their lives tell them. They are disgusting, nasty, pedophilic groomers. And we're going to prove that to you today because we have what we call receipts. If after we show you these things, you are still of the mindset that they are not, you might be a groomer and a pedophile as well. And that's what I'm going to call you if I ever see you agreeing with Jeffrey Marsh or Dylan Mulvaney. So, just so we're on the same page, I want you to understand that that's already thought of in my head. It's already a foregone conclusion. And I'm pretty sure that these guys probably think the exact same thing. So, without further ado, welcome, guys. We're glad you all are finally making
Before we
here.
begin, if you have children under the age of 13, please make sure that they're out of the room because this is going to
Yeah,
get pretty
it's
raw.
gonna
It's
get
gonna get rough.
yeah, not fun, not fun.
It's gonna get
So
spicy.
Spicy.
let's get to moving, shall we? Um,
Coy.
I know, right? First things first.
This guy. Let's go ahead and read him.
He isn't Dylan, but I know it's a little difficult to read, but I'm going to try and read it for you. Um, his name is what? Alok?
Alok Vaid Menlon.
Yeah, some stupid name. One of those
He's Indian.
transgender idiots. Okay, so listen to this statement, and you tell me. First off, okay, before I continue, if you are a transgender, I don't know what the heck that even means, but if you are of the mental capacity that you cannot figure out what you are, keep that to yourself. Ain't no child needs to know about what you do in your bedroom. That's for you and your disgusting, perverted life to live out. Don't be talking to no kids about anything to do with their genitalia. That used to be bad, but apparently not anymore. So, with that being said, listen carefully to what this nasty, disgusting human being says.
Hey, Marlon, can I read it in how he would sound? Because you
No,
sound
no,
so.
no. I don't even want to hear his voice. I don't like.
Mhm.
Ugh. He says
Oh,
these
man.
days the narrative is that transgender people will come into bathrooms and abuse little girls, and they have. FYI,
Fact.
you,
Mhm.
you parrot. The
Fact.
supposed purity of the victims has remained stagnant. There are no princesses. Little girls are also kinky. Your kids aren't as straight and narrow as you think.
Pause and let that just sink in, folks. What did he just say? Can you pull that back up again? That your
Yeah,
little daughters,
yeah,
Are
that
not
what?
pure innocent souls.
yes, and
Little
there are no
girls
princesses.
are also kinky.
Kinky.
This is a grown man saying this. I'll let you be
It's
the
going to get
judge.
worse, folks. I just wanted to warn you that this is the cusp of it. Okay, this is just the
Mhm.
beginning. When we get to the two people that we're actually talking about, much less the people that defend them, that's going to make you even more upset.
Mm.
Okay, more upset. Next, we're going to talk specifically about the defenders of certain people. Okay. Um, Dylan Mulvaney, you've probably seen him on TV. and he is the male that says he's going to transition into female, and he has now had tampon commercials and
appearances with Drew Barrymore.
yeah,
Wasn't he on
that whole business?
He was on The Price is Right, wasn't he?
Mhm.
Yeah, I saw
Yeah.
that video today, and that was
Mhm.
weird. Weird is not even the best way to call it. It's just uncanny, unnerving.
So,
yeah,
Dylan was friends and still is friends with the other guy we're going to talk about, Jeffrey Marsh, and they did do a collaboration video together. I have it, and hopefully it'll play right. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed, everyone. Now, what he did was he started to count down the days that he was a female until he finally went through surgery to have certain things done to his face. Now, here's the crazy thing. Maybe you guys can answer me a question. If there is no such thing as a woman or a man, why have surgery to look like a woman or a man? Before I continue,
That's pretty good.
somebody ask me a question, if you don't mind.
Purple.
That's about as good an answer as anyone can get.
Purple. Yeah,
There's no such thing as a woman or man, but for some reason, you go through surgery to look like the thing you feel like that doesn't exist.
yeah, I don't get that either. I mean, other than the part that most people like, the whole argument for this is that it's affirming care, right? But then that doesn't make sense because you wouldn't let a bulimic or somebody with anorexia like starve themselves or puke themselves to death, or somebody that has body dysmorphia in the way that they dislike their arm. You wouldn't let them go get surgery to remove a healthy arm. It's the same sort of scenario. It's like you don't mutilate body parts that are healthy in order to affirm a mental condition, right?
But we're doing that with fat people.
Yeah, but here's the thing: is that gender dysphoria in itself is a medical condition. It's been in the DSM-5 for a long time. They changed it to gender dysphoria. It used to be GID, which is a gender identity disorder, is what it used to be.
Yep.
And these are true psychological conditions. Now, the thing that has changed over time is how we have addressed this. And instead of treating the disorder a psychological disorder, we've decided to instead affirm their disorder in the same way that you wouldn't try to fix a person with DID, which is a multiple personality disorder. I mean, you wouldn't just affirm them with their multiple identities. You would try to get them to cohesively form one solid person again. You wouldn't just I don't even know how you would do that at DID. If we tried to affirm DID people, we just automatically have to try to assume how many people are inside of their body, and that's what some people are doing now. So we're doing with they, that's where that term pronoun. When I assume somebody says they, I'm probably going to assume that you have DID and you have more than one person inside of your brain. Because if you say they, I'm going to be like, okay, who and what other people? Are there 5 other people coming, or is it just you? That's confusing for most people in the English language. If you say they, it means plural. There are more than one person coming.
I can agree that there are more than one people in their mind because they're crazy.
Yeah. And, when I worked in a jail, we used to deal with a lot of people that were schizophrenic. And when I was a rookie, I used to play along with them. Oh, yeah, I see it. And they was like, no, you can't do that. Do not play along with their mental disorder. You have to.
That is what a psychologist
you have
will
to bring them. You have to bring them back to reality, and that's your job. But here, they want us to play their game. It's like playing patty cake. And I don't want to play patty cake,
Here's the thing is that they have got, this is the argument that comes down to transgenderism, is that are we affirming that this is a mental disorder or is it not? Does it belong in the DSM-5 or are we supposed to affirm that disorder? That's going to be the key thing, is if it's no longer a mental disorder, then you have to take it out of the DSM-5. That means all of these surgeries are elective. They're not medical necessities. And that's going to be a key thing, is that if we're going to go down that road, you should talk to the left about that. If we're going down that road, we need to get it out of the DSM-5 and say it's no longer a disorder, right? and that we're not treating it like a mental disorder, which it
Right.
still is right now. It is still in the DSM-5.
I want to address the first and the very first pedophile defender in the room. Welcome, Chris, to the room, everybody. The first pedophile defender. He looks like one himself, if you can look at the face. There are more straight people that pervert against children than you know, bro. I mean, to each his own, but it doesn't make you much of a better individual to sit up there and bash and talk bad about him, her. It's a him. It's not a her. It's a him. Just because you don't agree with the way him, her, learn English, Chris. It's pretty easy. Live their lives. There.
They are.
THEY apostrophe RE.
They are lives. Okay, lives here. He lives him, her. They are life.
I honestly think that Marlon Dude has so much hate in his little lack of heart. He has some skeletons in the closet.
I knew that would come out.
Let's just adjust this right off the bat. It's
hold
like,
on,
okay,
hold
dude.
on, hold on. No, let me finish. Just hold on. Don't overtalk. That'll mess up the stuff. Okay. Island people always, I'm assuming, think they are entitled to do what the F they want. Everyone's entitled to do what they want unless it comes to people's children, like these nasty, perverted, disgusting people, including yourself, Chris. Okay, so let me explain something to you, Chris. You came to this particular live because you saw your boyfriends being dragged. You saw your little honeypots being messed with. You didn't like the fact that you, being a perverted, cross-dressing homosexual, was going to get dragged with them. So you came to defend them. So let's make something clear. We are here to expose pedophiles like Dylan Mulvaney, like Jeffrey Marsh, and apparently yourself as well. If you want to be a part of their community, keep it to yourself and leave children out of it. This has nothing to do with whether we agree with their lifestyle or not. We know it's perverted. Our problem is that they're taking this to children who are innocent and have nothing to do with them. Kind of like you, who should probably leave the room and go register as a sex offender like you are. Okay? So you have your last chance. This is your only chance you're going to get to say something. Say one more thing, and you'll be evacuated from the room. Okay? Perfect. Now,
pull out a dictionary first.
You were going to say.
Oh, no. I basically in the same lines of the lines. Like, I view them in the same organization. I mean, if you're a pedo, you're a pedo. There's no difference between if you're a transvestite or transsexual or you're straight. It don't matter to me. You still go in the thing, man. I'm not gonna say the thing that goes along with that. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
But they all go in the same thing, the same machine. They goes, you know.
Oh yeah, I know.
It's the same thing.
But here's the thing: why is it that when straight men or women, mainly men, don't agree, they automatically say that we're in the closet? You ever notice that?
Like it's a bad thing. They say it's good, but when we do it and we're in the closet, it's a bad thing all of a sudden.
Well, here's the thing: we actually clean our closets.
Okay.
We actually clean our closets. We don't leave it dirty and then exit and claim something different. No, we take responsibility and we clean the closet. Oh, definitely. Chris is definitely an ally.
Now trust me, people, you'll be seeing a lot more of people like Chris. Just wait.
Hey, they
because
came to
there
the
are
wrong
more
podcast.
people out there. There are more people out there that are defending this particular behavior than you might think. Okay, honestly, there are more than you might think.
So I want to go back real fast on what bro just said. As far as him saying he wants to know why there's always a double standard to it, whereas basically you're saying that we want our opinion voiced and then they demand their opinion to be voiced. You know what I'm saying? We don't have a choice but to hear their opinion. But when we speak, we get silenced just for speaking out things we know is wrong and right. So with that, I feel like they gave them the same amount of qualified immunity that they gave the police. There's so many laws that are protected to make sure. This has been going on since the 70s. This isn't brand new. In the 70s, they started doing laws that passed or different acts that got passed to stop them from doing gender disqualification.
Just look up John Money.
Or, gosh. Yeah, that's who. I forgot about that. But gender discrimination, basically is sexual orientation discrimination. Any single thing that you speak out against is considered a threat. So there's so many laws that go around them to protect their egos. But even they want more than that. So now we can't even, they want to take away our freedom of speech for real. Like we can't say anything as a man. They want us silence. because they can easily finesse women because women have to pick both sides because they have children. You know what I'm saying? You're conflicted with your decision making. See what I mean? So they won't really, the end goal is to have men be silenced for good.
Period.
I'm telling you.
Period. So
it's not gonna happen though.
Here you go, people. Listen carefully. This is just an introduction to the people that they are. Okay, that's all this particular video is.
Date a girl, yes, and I am with my all-time role model. This is the person that
you're my role model.
No. You're my role model.
No.
You inspire making. So that's that. Okay. First,
Well, you're an inspiration. Love you very much.
Fine, thank you. I love you very much. I have a little gift for you. My signature. Little sunglasses. Hi. This is Jeff. What are your pronouns?
They, them.
Okay, I'm she, they. And I wanted to know, as a non-binary human, do you have any relationship to the concept of girlhood?
I absolutely do. I find girlhood to be inspiring. There are a lot of human beings who are girls who transcend what their gender is supposed to be.
Yes.
And that is something I draw strength from and excitement from.
Absolutely.
What you inspire me, one of the ways is that girlhood is this ultimate expression of humanity.
It's so much more than gender.
Yeah.
And I think what I would love is for there to be a place specifically for non-binary people too, because I think we can't forget that non-binary people do have that divine feminine energy, and they deserve to be a part of girlhood too. Girlhood becomes stronger when there's more of us behind.
Certain people are allowed in, but who's allowing? That's the real question.
Who is?
You know?
I don't. Maybe there isn't one, and maybe that's the beautiful part of it. This is the longest video ever.
Real fast, I want to speak first. I know that was cringy to watch, but if you were really paying attention and listening what she did, I was wondering along what they were saying. Good God. Went along what he said. He said that there's something that's non-binary. Now I had to look that up last night. Now, non-binary means that you don't believe in male or female, right? You don't believe in that. Then he went around and said that he feels as though that he has female femininity and girldom that he wants to support, and girldom that he feels is inside of him. That doesn't make any sense. You just contradicted yourself.
No, it doesn't.
You just contradicted yourself. That shows that he's lost. And so there's people out there that allow this man to talk to your kids.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like you would go down the street in San Francisco and let the homeless dude just like look after your kids, right? Like it's the same sort of scenario in my point of view. If I get here, I'll strongman it for you. This is what the left will do. They're saying, well, he's just, preaching his truth. He's trying to include adolescents into this who are lost, whose parents don't care about them. He's trying to educate them and show them the way. And it's just like, yeah, but it's not their position. Like, look, these are your kids. And you're supposed to be taking care of your kids. You're supposed to be parenting your kids. You shouldn't let some stranger on the internet who looks like a crazy person in San Francisco who is homeless teach your kids about anything, my friends. Like, you should not be doing that. If you are, then you really need to reassess your parenting if you're allowing that to happen, or if you're showing that, because like every video, they've always been like this. Okay, hi kids, and that whole business is like, and parents too, like trying to include the parents, but like they're grooming the parents to think that it's okay when it's not. It's obviously not. And sorry, I'm getting ahead of us, but
yeah. Have you noticed? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Oh, have you noticed like a lot of these people in that community, especially when they try to be women, they like overdo it. They're like over the top and
the most dramatic,
and like the way they're dressed. How many women, like grown women, do you know that dress like that? They're dressed like little girls almost.
And it's by this. He even said girlhood.
Yeah, it's weird to me.
And listen carefully. It's girlhood. They're not talking about being a woman.
Mm-hmm.
They are targeting little girls.
Exactly. So
listen to what they say.
But here's what I find also equally interesting, is that these are supposedly females and yet they're acting in a way that affirms the patriarchy, but the patriarchy is bad according to feminists, and yet the feminists are defending these men
Yeah.
who are pushing patriarchy by way of them overdoing femininity to the point where they're young girls who, by the way, can also be kinks.
No, I was gonna get into that later. One of the things that's we're fighting the patriarchy so hard that men are winning women's sports and women of the year. That's how hard we're going against the patriarchy.
Die, patriarchy. Die.
For a woman who hasn't even been a woman for a year.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Now, remember we said we have proof that he's a pedo? Now, I only need one bit of proof from anyone to prove that they're a pedophile. I really only need one. I don't even need to catch you in any act. I have zero need. You know why? Because it starts in your thought process first. And when you tell me out loud that you're targeting my children, I have a problem with that. Now, yes, some responsibility falls back on the parents to put the children in front of stuff. But let's be honest. Your children are not around you 24/7. And there are some people out there who are intent on overriding your rules. And if you are not a super diligent parent and you work too much and you don't really pay attention, your children are going to be indoctrinated by people like this perverted piece of crap. Okay? Now, you might think I'm too harsh. Make that statement after you hear this. Okay? After. Listen carefully.
Now, folks,
I want to talk to the kids. Parents watch the video and then hand the phone over to the young kids. Hi.
Okay, you heard that, right? Did I hear wrong?
Nope.
Did I hear wrong that he said parents watch it, influence the parents first and then hand it off to the kids? Okay, he's an adult, cross-dressing piece of crap trying to talk to your child. All right, here we go.
This is Jeffrey Marsh, by the way.
Asked a lot, are you a boy or a girl? And I love that question. And so I wanted to just tell you some things are more where sometimes we kind of float in between, and sometimes we're a boy, sometimes we're a girl, because human beings are creatures and we're wild and exciting. But I want to ask you a favor. If you see a kid like me or an adult like me, would you be extra nice to them? Would you do me a favor and be very, very kind? Yeah, like anybody, we can feel lonely. And so if you're kind to us, it would be really, really important.
Now, listen carefully to what and how he says stuff. If you see an adult like me, be really, really kind. Because we get what? Lonely. What child could possibly be there for you and your loneliness?
Yeah.
Please explain that to me. Why do you need a child to be there for you in your loneliness as a transsexual, homosexual, perverted man? Please tell me.
45-year-old man at that.
I think it's crazier at the fact that it's not even the fact that he's using big words or trying to hide it. He's so blatant with what he's saying. It's blunt.
Yeah.
He's telling you what he wants, and we don't even pay attention to that. And now it's just gotten to the point where we can't even ban him. They need to sign a petition to ban him for simple stuff like this. Like that's insane to me. If that's the case, free R. Kelly. Go free Casey Anthony.
There you go.
I don't get it. I mean, I'm there. I don't get that. That doesn't make any sense to me. Go free Harvey Weinstein and Jeffrey Epstein.
Ghislaine Maxwell. Free them all.
What's up with the Jeffrey names though? Jeffrey Dahmer, Jeffrey Marsh.
Jeffrey Marsh.
Jeffrey
Apparently,
Epstein.
don't name your kid Jeffrey.
Leave Jeffries alone.
Yeah, never name your son Jeffrey.
You just want. There are certain names that you just want people to fail if you name them that. So Jeffrey is one of those now.
Yeah, I just don't get, in the beginning where he's like, he talked to the parents like someone said, trying to groom the parents. What parent would hand their phone to some 45-year-old weirdo talking to their kids in a video? Hello,
Yeah,
Like I
boys
said,
and
it's like going downtown and letting like a random homeless person watch your kids.
No,
Like, why would
that's
you
never
do that?
happening. My son's 18,
You know,
and I
Chris,
still
that
tell him
guy
to turn
will.
that crap off.
Yeah, that guy.
Chris will.
Yeah.
Chris will hand his phone
Yeah,
over to.
That's freaking weirdos. It's
The
weird.
world
to me.
is dark and full of terrors, man.
So
This is how
he
nations
goes
fail.
he goes one step further, people. Okay. Now it's going to get progressively worse. I just want to make sure you understand this. This is going to get progressively worse. And I'm not even kidding that it will get progressively worse. So
And no, we
listen
didn't Photoshop
carefully
any
to
of
this
this.
one. No,
None of this is
it's on
Photoshop.
TikTok. You can go find it. It's still on TikTok. I downloaded it just yesterday. So listen carefully. Okay, just hear him.
Hi, kids. It's possible to be like me and be happy. In fact, it's great to be like me and to be happy. It's okay to like dresses, to curly things, to be a little. It's okay to be a little different than what people want you to be, than what people expect you to be. And I'm old. And I grew up without any examples of people like me. And so I really, really wanted to tell you, it's possible to be like me and then grow up and be happy. It's possible to be like me and grow up and be surrounded by wonderful friends, to be really, really fulfilled in your life, to have a good, long, happy life, and to, be joyful.
Now, was that included to the parent or directly to the child?
I was directly to the child.
Okay. So let me tell you all some about TikTok. TikTok has multiple ways for children to join. I think 13 is the age limit, but there are younger kids than that on the app because insignificant parents or horrible parents will allow TikTok to be something that they let their kids be on. They create the account for their kids.
Mm-hmm.
So people like Jeffrey are now the ones babysitting their child.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I do hold their parents, I would say 98% responsible before TikTok. After TikTok, it doesn't absolve Jeffrey of any responsibility because he is also a perv because he's targeting those children, the vulnerable. That's my problem with Jeffrey. Say the parents are bad, fine. That doesn't give you the right to exploit that weakness.
Mm-hmm.
And we know why you're exploiting the weakness, Jeffrey. We know why. You are hoping that they will join your bandwagon of disgusting pedophiles and like you. You are talking in a way that the smallest of children will lean into. A big grin, big colors, nice and soft. It's purposeful. And you're going to try and convince me that you're not? No, fam. No, I only need one example and you have 18 million of them.
And he's actually talking like a child. He's using a lot of childlike vernacular. You know what I mean?
I expect that because you're trying to attract a child. You know what I'm saying? You don't.
So
I'm not gonna go to approach a woman talking like one of the homies. You know what I'm saying? But it's it goes deeper than that though.
I mean, that was why the whole like van with the ice cream and candy was such a like stereotype because like it's easy with sweet things to bring somebody into the van. Like that's what it is.
But
You have to talk
this
softly.
dude is delusional. Like if you go back and watch that happy video, that is the epitome of delusional. And I like how Kalista, she even said the same thing. Like first he said he's lonely, now he's telling the kids he's happy. You gotta pick a struggle, bro. You gotta pick a struggle, man.
Yeah,
he's lying. He lies so terribly.
That is
lies
the
are so
church
bad.
of intersectional oppression, is what I'm calling it now, because the whole thing of what is woke. That's my definition of woke. It's the church of intersectional oppression, right?
Mm-hmm.
It sums up everything nicely. It is a cult that has religious dogma with intersectional oppressive peoples that intertwined with each other. That's how unhinged the whole thing is, and they have to follow the dogma regardless of what happens. And that's what happened with that TikTok creator and when she went after Jeffrey Marsh, right?
Oh, she's coming up. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's that thing. It's like once you step into that realm and you get in somebody's way, that the church comes after you. That's what happens. And the other thing I was going to point out too is that it's not just TikTok, right? This is happening in schools right now too. There are teachers that are purposely separating children from parents and for like putting them into the pipeline of transgenderism. And that's a huge issue because not only is it random TikTok creators that are doing this to children, it's also teachers, people you're supposed to be able to trust with your kids that are doing this now. And that's a real big issue on top of this. Not just Jeffrey Marsh, it's a bunch of other people that are a part of the church that are indoctrinating your kids and bringing them into the cult. And that's it's how do you take care of that if it surrounds your kids every day? You have to be more proactive. You have to understand what you're doing with your kids and where they are and what they're doing and what they're watching.
Hey, Marlon? I think it's a little more sinister than that because you know how he's literally targeting children? Do you have a video of him saying, your parents screwed up?
That's next. That's next.
Okay. Okay, so a little bit of a preface, ladies and gentlemen. He's going to drop a website name known as Patreon. Now, if you don't know what Patreon is a paid tiered service website where if you want to access, let's say, for instance, you want to subscribe to the Savage Patriots Patreon, assuming we have one. Well, if you want certain tiered levels of access and service content, you would pay a premium for that. So if you want, a personal one-on-one phone call with Marlon and myself, that would be $15 a month. If you want all 5 of us in a Zoom call together with you, that would be like $30 a month, stuff like that. So bear in mind that when Jeffrey drops Patreon, listen carefully.
Yeah, and not only that, if people thinking that the kids can't get in, I have an answer for you there too. So just hold on to your britches. You ready?
Your parents screwed up. It's okay to say so. That's why I made a Patreon.
Here you go.
So that we could talk about it. So that we could connect in a way that has more privacy. So that we could talk to each other in a way that's more open and stuff that we wouldn't share like in the comments of a video like this.
Now, he created the Patreon, and when he created the Patreon, people noticed that it was open, okay, to anyone. So then he put a couple of weeks later a restriction of 18 years and older. Here is the problem with the 18 years and older thing. Okay, just watch this real quick. I'm going to show an example of something. I want to make sure I get the right one here. Here we go. Okay. So we have here in front of us a screen. Okay. I'm signed in to my Google Chrome app as a guest. So the program doesn't know if I'm an adult or a child because I have no accounts. It is just a guest Google page. Okay. So if I go to Jeffrey Marsh's Patreon, I get this. Oh no, I have to be. And some people will say, see, he's right. He's that you are over 18. You see the bar as make sure you all see that. It says yes, click that. Do you see what happens? It just takes me to his Patreon for me to sign up. Now, for people who don't understand, you have credit cards saved to certain locations. You can have your credit card autofill from your browser, autofill from your phone. Now, suppose your kid is using your phone and you have credit card information saved to your phone. It didn't ask for a date of birth, nothing. It just told you, are you over 18? Sure. All right, cool. Now, when you give, I'm not going to sign up to his nonsense because I'm not giving him any money. But when you do sign up, it's only going to take your credit card as proof of your age. It does not ask whether or not you're a child. It doesn't. It just takes the money and assumes that an adult is given the okay. So do not come to me telling me that, oh, it's for adults. Don't worry about it. Kids can't. Kids can't? Kids can't. No, you've left a very big loophole by not verifying anything. And he talks about kids going no contact. He doesn't say adults, kids going no contact with their parents. I want you to understand how dangerous this is. Suppose you have a child. Y'all are having issues at home because it happens, right? You don't have the kind of leeway you do with your child. Normally, there's an issue going on. There's some trouble at home. And this fool comes across on his TikTok account. And it tells you, I can be your friend. You need a special friend? I'm your friend. Just sign up and we can talk off grid. Things we wouldn't normally be able to talk about in a public forum. Come talk to me. And the kid is realizing, I don't want to talk to mom about this. I'm going to talk to Jeffrey about it. And Jeffrey starts telling you that your parents screwed up. It's okay to say so. He is now creating discord that's exemplified in the kid's life already. And now you're amplifying it by telling them, yeah, they screwed up. You don't need to talk to them. Oh, you want to transition? Feel free to transition. Or you want to meet me in person? We can arrange that. I'll be your friend. I'll be here for you. A perv does that. No regular human being ever goes to a child that they don't know and offers to be. You are a pedophile, Jeffrey. You're a child diddler. Let's just be honest about what you are. You're a disgusting human being. You cannot convince me that a sane human being could look at someone's child and think, I want to be friends with them. And not only friends, private friends. What?
Yeah.
So if you really look at his pattern on how he does that, though, just by hearing him talk, what he does is he targets kids that's in the process of trying to figure out their, like, going through puberty stages. You know what I mean? You're in the process of trying to figure out what's hormones what's going through your body. So of course you're gonna feel up, down, sad, left side, right side. You're gonna feel some type of way.
Yeah.
He capitalizes off of that. That's where he comes in, because usually that's when the kids are most likely to be rebellious to their parents, or in the preteen years. You know what I'm saying? You're finally becoming independence. So he capitalizes off of that feeling. And that's why he tries to, I guess, use his little pervy ways to get in there. The fact that he's so
I think
bold
people
about it,
overthink the process. So let's just break it down. Like if me as a person just went up to some random kid on the playground and go, hey, do you want to be my special friend? Are you having trouble at home? And started asking those questions to some random child on the street. Do you think somebody would look at me and go, that guy's a freaking weirdo, man. Maybe we should watch him a little closer. Or they might even tackle me or punch me in the face. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, if I went up to random kids and started talking the way he does, I might set off a few alarm bells, but that's in public. But apparently on the internet, perfectly acceptable.
it's not even on. They designed the internet. They let him get on national television 3 times. They invite him on hosts, KTLV. Like, they let him go on different
Newsmax. Had him on Newsmax
too. Different podcasts, like you name it. He's just an activist now. That's insane.
Yeah. Here we go with another example of this is, and again, this is all on his account. I'm not that good at doctoring videos in order to make him look like a perverted person, because he is. Okay, what? Just explain. People can explain this one to me too. The title says, parents always ask me about their LGBTQ kids.
Oh, not this one.
I'm not going to even ask you how you know your kid is LGBTQ, or how a kid knows what the heck LGBTQ means if you didn't tell them, because you yourself want your child to be that way. Internally, if I'm going to say it right now, if you are a parent out there, listen to what I'm about to say. If you are a parent and your child is identified by you as LGBTQ, you should not be a parent. You are as nasty as Jeffrey.
I agree.
Okay, I'm just wanting to know you are a horrible human being.
Yeah,
that's mother and father, both.
Both of y'all. All of y'all.
Yeah.
So, Jeffrey, tell us, please. kid from being bullied. First of all, stop introducing them to perverted lifestyles, and that will help a whole lot. Secondly, okay,
No.
I have to deliver the bad news. You can't. They will be targeted.
See,
Kind
he's
of
not. I don't
Bad
think
with
he's
the
talking
dancing
about
and the
bullying.
smiles there.
No, see, we're missing it. We just look at what he's saying, but not looking past it.
Oh,
Think
I'm
about
looking
this.
how he's behaving.
No,
Yeah.
I understand that. I'm not looking at all that. What I'm talking about is what he's standing for. So what he's doing is he's trying to hide himself behind the whole bullying activism part. You know what I'm saying? Just to hide his little role behind it. So he can, you know what I'm saying, hide the fact he's a pedophile. So I'm gonna disguise myself behind these bullying people because no one speaks ill on them. That's how the whole thing with LGBTQ jumping in there. But they're just, it's like LGBT is the name of sexual morality. That's all it is. But with him, he's bouncing back and forth from different activism, trying to hide his own sin behind it. You see what I mean? If you really look at it and pay attention to what he's doing, that's how sneaky this man is. I'm just trying to expose how he does it. That's why I've been paying attention to the whole time and researching. Like he's slick, but he ain't that slick. We just gotta be really stupid. It's either he's really good or we're really stupid, and he can't be that good.
Church dogma, man. You can't go against the church.
Wait till you see what happens. Not on this, but later on. But you can love your kid too much. You can celebrate them and make sure home is safe. That's a parent's job. A parent's job is to make sure the home is safe while he's trying to invade your home and make it unsafe by grooming. Please make it make sense.
Appreciate it, Jeff. For the parenting advice. I don't know what I would have done all these years without you telling me how to parent. I really appreciate it.
Honestly, I feel my blood boiling with every single video. I'm getting seriously enraged by this guy.
Yes,
as we
it's
should.
uncomfortable.
I'm more mad at the policies in place because honestly, as much as I don't like this dude, I really can't fault him because it's been policies that have been placed that most people have been voting for and allowing this to happen for so long. That's why now it's here full grown, full bloom.
True.
So we can't just look at only Jeffrey. It's been a lot of stuff because honestly, I'm more pissed at the parents for supporting this. Like Jeffrey gonna be Jeffrey regardless. Like if he's really Peter Pan looking for lost boys, Peter Pan's gonna stay Peter Pan. You can't change Peter Pan. All right, you gotta blame the parents.
Now
and the supporters.
TikTok has a bunch of people that support him. Okay, not just support him, but support him to the point where they will go after people that talk about Jeffrey. Okay, that talk about what he's doing. Call him out on it because we're not stupid. We're not blind. We know exactly what Jeffrey is doing. I mean, the idiots out there, and I'll drop a couple of names on TikTok so you can verify that you never, ever, 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 ever deal with them. Okay. I want you to understand that what's going to come up next is hang on a second. Let me deal with something. Nadia, get lost, you perverted homosexual. Okay, so we're gonna help you out by doing this. Okay, we don't want you in here, like at all. We don't want you in here. I don't want nothing to do with you in here. Get off, get away, leave. Perfect. Now, there's another individual that I ran across on TikTok. She and I don't see eye to eye about nearly anything. Okay. But when she saw Jeffrey, mind you, she's a lefty. When she saw Jeffrey, she understood that something was off. And she made a video about it. This is what happened after she made the video about it. She has a pretty good, big following. Okay? Listen carefully to what happened to her. Just listen.
So I just got say pretty much a threat saying they know where I live. And what scares me the most is they have got my daughter's details on the email like what time I leave to drop them to school, pick them up. And it's not a coincidence because both of my daughters, they go to 2 different schools, so they know. They've given the school details and everything. So, yeah, my daughters are involved now in this. Some of you might know that my car was damaged in this whole thing. I was getting not very nice videos and now emails with a lot of details on that email. So I'm done. I don't want to do anything.
So that's what they'll do.
Yeah.
They go
I told you.
after her and her parent and her kids. Now, mind you, people have been told that people say, well, take it to the police. And that's all. I mean, yeah, it's an option. But they are protected. Protected.
Yeah.
Civil Rights Act, 1964.
You couldn't do nothing about it.
And
that saves them.
And here's the reason. One of the reasons why they're protected is a lot of these officials that run the heads of a lot of these organizations, these government officials, a lot of them are pedophiles too. So they're going to protect their own, man. They're not going to go after that guy. But I want to say something on that lady's situation. I saw that. I didn't really know what was going on. And they always go after a soft target. You notice that, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, try me with that stuff, please. Mm-hmm. Try me. You know, you're not going to try a real person. You're not going to try somebody you're going to mess around and find out for real. They go after soft targets, and it's usually women, single moms with children, or mothers and their kids. They don't go after no, 40-something-year-old infantryman veteran. They're not going to go after me.
I can't say that because they've been after a lot of celebrities that spoke out as well.
Yeah, like Charlie Kirk just recently with Antifa at UC Davis going after him. The mob came after him hard.
Anybody worried about that?
But it's the fact that they're all working the same thing.
Yeah,
it's all the same thing.
You have to realize what Antifa is. Antifa is the crusaders of the church, right? The church that is wokeness. They use Antifa as their crusaders. So whenever they seen them on the crusades to go after the people that they dislike or that they don't hate, the same thing with what's happening at Cop City in Georgia, right? Is that they're sending these people to enforce the dogma, right? They are the Inquisition. They are going after you because you went against the church.
Brown shirts.
Right? You went against the dogma that is wokeness.
Yeah, exactly, Daniel. The brown shirts. That's what they are.
That's well said, Coy.
Now here comes the defenders. And I want you to make sure you keep an eye on what they say at the bottom. Do your research, please, before someone gets hurt. That's a threat. They're not. That's a threat. I want people to understand that's a threat. Don't tell me I misread anything. You, woman up top that looks like some kind of pagan idolatrous woman, and the next clown below her don't even realize you're giving up all of your sovereignty as a black woman to all of the things that you say oppresses you. You are giving over your sovereignty. You're so stupid. That's how dumb you are. You are allowing the same people that piggybacked on your movement back in the day to piggyback again on you by using you like a pawn. You're dumb. You're dumb. And you're dumber than you think. You are defending a pedophile. Period. Understand that. So here you go. Tell us, please, that Jeffrey's not a pedophile. Go ahead.
Jeffrey Marsh is not a predator. Here.
I want to talk to the kid. Parents watch the video and then he phone over to gather around the family, the parents, everybody.
So in every video they see the children, it's with my
parents. Okay to say so. That's made a Patreon so that we could talk about it.
You notice how she skipped over the fact that he said your parents screwed up? You notice that? She just said that he's not a predator because he includes the parents. You played a video about the Patreon that tells you he's talking to the kids about their parents screwing up. Make it make sense. You just finished saying that the parents are with him. Same screen. They're talking to the parents and the kids. And the video you play to invite children to a Patreon to privately talk to him, he does not include the parents. In fact, he says the parents screwed up. But that's your proof that he's not a predator? That's your proof that he's not a predator. You want me to, you know, sometimes I wonder about things. And I have to stop myself from understanding whether or not it's true that these people are crazy. And I think they're crazy. Hang on a second.
You know, it's real sad. As I was really kind of cringing, and every single time it irritated me just watching this when I was researching. But then I realized it's futile to be upset because it's been going on for so long. Even if we try to stop it, they'll just there's 100 million Jeffreys out here right now.
Right.
And everybody claims they're awake, but they're asleep still because they're just letting them walk right next to them. But I can't say they've been, like I said before, all these Jeffreys out here been hiding behind the same exact thing that's been going on, whether it's politics, whether it's the protests, whether it's animal rights. Doesn't matter. They always hide behind whatever the general population wants to appease to. So that's why I ain't gonna say we, that's why a lot of people always get duped and finessed every single time into tricked into believing in everything they say. And now you accepted that so many things where I'm gonna be real, start with trans. When that whole trans thing started coming out and everybody's like, well, you have to accept their opinion and you have to tell them what their opinion is. But you don't want to hear our opinion. That's crazy. Just because we couldn't speak out then, now look what happened now. That's insane.
Now, remember that there was a petition going around to cancel Jeffrey? There was a pretty big one going around. Have you seen what happened to it lately?
Get taken down?
It got taken down for violating community guidelines.
The podcast or the petition?
The petition.
Wow.
To remove him from the platform got taken down because the petition violated community guidelines.
That's crazy.
Now, there's a reason why we want him taken down, because we believe he's a child predator. So if you say he's a child predator, that violates community guidelines on change.org.
Where the parents at? Why aren't y'all speaking up? I ain't got kids. Like, come on now. Like, why aren't y'all speaking up? I get irritated because if I did have kids and Jeffrey came to talk to my kids, I'll probably be in jail for something that rhymes with herder. You know what I mean? So
this has been the big thing is that insane. Look, I'm fairly libertarian, man. Do what you do over the age of 18. You're an adult. You have your own day. Keep it to yourself. I don't care. Right? Do your thing. But once you start going after kids, that's when it becomes a problem, right? And this all comes back to my other argument before: is this a mental disorder or not? Do we need to treat this as a mental disorder or not? Because like that's the thing. Like you're saying, just being accepting, which is all sweet and dandy. I mean, everybody should accept themselves for who they are, right? I can agree with those words. The problem is that if this is a mental condition, you should not be affirming that line of thinking, just like you wouldn't do for DID. We do not need to affirm that. You need help, and professional help, not amateur help from somebody who looks unnerving and uncomfortable. I'm sorry. I'm glad you are happy with yourselves, but you do not need to interfere with parents and their children and how they're trying to take care of them. It's a scary world as it is, and all the things that are happening in the world, we don't need this on top of it.
Exactly.
Parents, be with your kids.
And like Mello said, that this transgender, and we used to call it, just drag queens or cross dressers. It's been around for years, right? Yeah. And none of us we never had a problem with it. It's been around so long, we just didn't really think about it until you started going after kids.
Thanks.
That was it. We don't care. Just leave the kids alone. And that's what everyone's saying. Do you, be you, dress how you want to dress. Just leave the kids out of it.
Period.
Yep.
So people might wonder what we do. It comes down partially to how you vote as well, because it's now becoming something that they want to pass as law. This particular clown is a lady called Peggy Flanagan. She's the lieutenant governor in Minnesota. And when you hear what she has to say, she'll be the closer for us. You will see how far the message that Jeffrey has been preaching, that Dylan has been preaching, that multiple of his defenders have been preaching all over TikTok and YouTube. The dissenters against the reasoning of normal people, you will see how far it's reaching now, to the point where laws are going to get passed to not just make them okay, but to take away your right as a parent overall. Remember, you can't already go to the school board meetings and raise a fuss over it, because then you're a terrorist. Next is coming laws. So listen carefully to this idiot.
Is life saving when our children, they are. It's our job as grown-ups to believe them. That's what it means to be a good parent. Because
No, it's not. No, it's not. That is not what it means to be a good parent. If my child comes to me and tells me that he is a four-legged creature from the nether realm, that's what he feels like that day, I'm supposed to be, as a parent, to believe him and just go with it. That's what I'm supposed to do. That's good parenting. If your child comes to you and say, I feel like I am a Sasquatch and I should be allowed to live outside in a tent and have anybody I want come over, adults included, I should believe my child. That's what you're trying to tell me.
There's a couple questions in there, Marlon. We got about 3 minutes left, 4 minutes.
There's what?
I said people are asking a bunch of questions. I think they want to.
Yeah, let me peruse here.
Yeah.
While you're doing that, here's my advice to other parents, right? If you're dealing with this situation, your kid's having issues, sit down with them and listen to what they have to say, for one. And then two, talk to them and say, okay, here's what we should do. We should not put you down this pathway, because all these treatments and options that they're trying to get you to do are life-changing and irreversible. You have to be honest with them. These things cannot be reversed once they are done. And that is the problem, is that if you still feel this way as you get 18 and you really want to do that, it's your life at that point. But right now, while you're in this house with me, I will do my very best to take care of you and to be there for you and love you. But we need to wait on this until we know for sure this is something that you really want to do. Because if you go through with this and you mutilate your children, or God knows anything else, you are putting them in a position where their life is forever and irrevocably changed. And that's never going to go back. And you will never get your kids back from that. And that's why it is so dangerous. You have to be on top of this. Be there for your kids and be the good parent that you need to be, and love them, obviously. Anyway,
what was that question?
What do we do? And he's answering most of it. What you do?
Okay, there you go.
Here's the thing too. The majority of parents that hand over their kids to this idea and this mindset are lost themselves.
Mm-hmm.
This is why we're doing this particular thing, because the same way they can call somebody on you for teaching your kids about the Constitution of the United States, you can do the same thing. You want to combat when you know a child is being abused emotionally by parents that are allowing this to happen, report them. I'm not even playing, because it is child abuse. You don't, as an adult, take a child that has zero reasoning skills and decide you're just going to chop off the boy's wee-wee or take off the girl's breast because you feel in your nasty mind that your child should be another sex. I've heard some parents even do it as young as 3 years old. How perverted that man? What can my 3-year-old couldn't tell me even what color his shoes were. You're going to tell me your child knows what he doesn't want, a penis?
It's what the parents want at that stage. Oh, Dad, we didn't want a boy. We wanted a girl.
So we're going to make it a girl.
We're going to make it a girl.
Yeah.
Now we got a little girl. It's sickening.
See, the last thing
you
I
have
want
to be aware of those people.
Go ahead. The last thing I want to say about this is, my opinion, we need to stop making excuses and stop beating around the bush and stop being so indirect when it comes to issues like this. This is why it came here.
Yeah.
The fact that we always lead, that's the only reason I disagree. Me and Coy really been saying the same thing this whole show, but the only thing I'm disagreeing on is one thing. I don't like the mental institution thing or the mental health thing, because it's just another excuse for that they can run to be like, this is why I am like this. You got to accept it because I'm mental health. It's the same as someone saying, "Oh, I'm sorry, I killed somebody. I'm just a Sagittarius." Like, that's the equivalent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Jupiter was in retrograde. I had a reason.
That makes no sense. You know what I mean? So
call a spade a spade.
I would also say another way to beat this is don't be cowards. If you have people coming after you, stand your ground. A lot of these supporters of Jeffrey Marsh are, like Marlon said, they're pedo adjacent, if not pedophiles themselves. And the reason why they're defending Jeffrey and Dylan and all these other trenders, is what I call them, is because it's projection, and they want to feel like that they belong to some kind of group. But if they come at you, stand your ground, and not just stand your ground, but fire back.
Yeah, it's nothing wrong with firing back.
The church will come after you when you speak your mind on these topics, and they always say that we're putting trans lives in danger. Not really, because the only people that are really afraid is if you go against the church, and they will come after you.
Exactly. And wait for it. They're gonna come after this podcast. We're expecting it, but
good. I mean, it's the truth, because they only get mad if you tell the truth and break their reality and break that delusion.
But they're coming after the right one.
That's when they get mad. So hey, I hope you're mad. It's cool.
They're coming after the right one.
That's why I stay quiet, because I know I'm not. I was taught to, if you ain't got nothing good to say, what I'm saying, don't say nothing. So I try to attack the issue, not the person.
I'm protecting feelings no more.
I'm not trying to attack the person, just the issue. That makes sense.
For those of you on Fair Media still, if you don't mind and haven't yet, please go over to our YouTube channel and drop yourself a subscription. We are about 15 short of a 1K mark, which is our goal by the end of the month. All we need are 15 more subs. Please share, because this particular thing needs to be spoken about more than it has been. We don't want to be the kind of people that are politically correct about this nonsense. We're not going to be the Charlie Kirks of the world. We're not going to be the Ben Shapiro's of the world. We're going to be a completely different breed here. We're going to call you what you are, and we're not going to care whether your feelings get hurt. We have zero regard for your feeling when it comes to children. We don't care if you get mad. We don't care at all. What we see is what we see, and what you present to us is what we have to make a judgment on. And what we've seen is that both Jeffrey and folks like him are indeed, by the textbook definition, predators, perverts, and pedophiles. They're triple Ps. PPP loans are what they are. Okay, so let's not get this twisted. This is not the safe space that you people might think that you find on other places. This particular channel will call both sides out too. Left, right, and middle. We don't give a crap who you are. If you're wrong, you're wrong. So understand that. So please share, subscribe if you haven't already. Here is the link one more time if you haven't done it.
I posted our email.
Get it out. Please get it out. Get it out there. Get it out.
Green is the best color. So if you ain't wearing green today, it's a problem. I just want to tell you that.
I'm wearing green.
Right there.
It's my favorite color, man.
Envy. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, bro.
So thank you guys for tuning in, man. Thank you for tuning in. This was one of the most important podcasts we've done so far. And I think this is probably the one, if I ever ask you to share the mess out of, it's this one. Let this one go viral so people know that we, as true parents and people that understand reality, are not playing anymore.
And don't worry, we can take on the brown shirts that are coming, are going to come attack us. We got it. We're not worried about it.
We ain't got no chill.
Yeah,
at all. Worried. So thank you guys again. Don't forget, Too Strong will be on in 25 minutes. We are talking about George Lopez saying, what this nonsense. He said that if you are against trans, then you don't get away from me. I don't care. I'll get away from you.
Lydia, I'll see you at the mix to answer that question that you just said.
Hey, and also real quick, don't forget the Hoot every Sunday. So every Sunday, 6 p.m.
Every Sunday at 6.
6.
EST. So we'll catch you guys on the flip side. Monday we're back, right? We're back Monday. Monday at 6. I'll have the schedule out probably by tomorrow for what topics we're going to cover. We'll brainstorm this weekend and try and get that out there. And love you guys. Mean it. Y'all have a grand rest of the day. Peace. We out.